Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of 5 days of filling my cup. A little sharp the end of my desk there, excuse me. So today I really wanted to drop into where we show up in our lives, where we are a fuck yes, and where we are still showing up in our lives out of obligation. And why I really wanted to talk about this is because, when we are creating a space for ourselves, and how do we reconnect with ourselves? How do we lean into saying yes to ourselves? How do we fill our own cup? And that doesn't come out of obligation. That doesn't come out of the busyness of life. That doesn't come out of saying yes to everything. It doesn't come out of putting everyone else's needs before your own. And so what I really would invite you to really feel into today is, where in your life are you still saying yes to things that really are a no for you, and that you feel you need to say yes to because of how someone might react, or that there's the perception you could hurt someone's feelings, or that it's just the way it's always been. This is a really interesting exercise in terms of learning how to just literally become aware, or build an awareness for ourselves of where we're still saying yes to everyone else and no to ourselves. And these are really really simple concepts in terms of, when you say yes to someone, when you are not authentically and a full body fuck yes in that response, you are saying no to yourself. And when we keep saying no to ourselves, it becomes the norm that we would completely ignore, reject, refuse to follow our desires, to do the things that we feel good in, and keep putting everyone's happiness before ourselves, or before our own. Which is a big concept. But as women, we are conditioned by ourselves, by other women, to keep saying no to ourselves and yes to everyone else. But I'm gathering if you're actually participating in this event and you're watching this video, it's because you have a curiosity about finding something different for yourself. And finding something different for yourself begins with learning how to become aware of all those times and spaces and people and places where you say yes to someone else and no to yourself. So this is an exercise I do in every single one of my groups, and I get every client I work with to do this. I invite them to sit, and this is something that my mentor and coach is insistent upon with us, and continually asks us to keep looking at this list. She calls it cleaning out the pipe. And for me, I firmly believe that when we are living a life in alignment, we are constantly cleaning out, like the pipe, the channel between ourselves and God, source, universe, whatever it is you believe. We're constantly cleaning out that. With all the things that we clog up the pipe that don't serve us, that we're not a full body fuck yes in, that we're still like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do that for you because I feel like I have to. One, it's inauthentic, right? Are you in that space? And no one, I can guarantee you this, right? No one wants to be in a relating situation with you, a friendship, a relationship, a familiar relationship, where you are there with a shit ton of resentment sitting behind it. When you are where you are there out of obligation. Because regardless of how clever we think, we spoke about this yesterday, how clever we think we are at hiding it, we're not. And so everyone feels that resentment. And for us, it feels inauthentic. And for the person on the other side, it doesn't feel great. And to me, that is not an authentic, loving relationship. And that's not somewhere where I want to spend time. Because when we sit in those places that don't serve us, what we're saying to ourselves unconsciously, subconsciously, whatever you want to say, silently, covertly, passively, is that this is how I deem my worth. I'm worth sitting in this situation that doesn't serve me, because for me, and I'm hoping for you, it doesn't work like that. I'm hoping for you, as it does for me, that you can see another possibility for yourself. That, you know, when we show up authentically and fully committed to each thing we say yes to, how beautiful an experience that is for ourselves and anyone around us. You know, for me, one of my highest values is reverence in connection. And so for me, that means that, like, if I'm a yes, I'm a fuck yes. I'm in. 1000% in. So I'd really invite you. This would be my invitation to you for day 2, is to make the time for yourself, 1, to watch this video, you know, yay. 2, to really sit down and have a look at all the places in your life where you are showing up and you are not a fuck yes. Now, that's not to say that, oh yeah, life's great, we just get to do whatever we like and, you know, no one has to look after kids or go to work or whatever. There are things in anyone's list which are like we have a commitment to, because we need it to happen for our lives to happen, like our children need us to care for them, you know. Or our house, I don't know whether I spoke about in this group yesterday when I was talking about, I love a clean house, but I'm not particularly a fan of cleaning anymore. So I have found a way to have a cleaner. That's important to me, because I just, like, if I have to, Jesus, I better get someone to look at this desk too. If I have to clean the house and I know that that's not something, like, I don't like it. I don't like doing it. And I'm not going to be this thing of like, oh yeah, the struggle is real. I don't buy that bullshit. I buy that our life gets to be easeful and effortless when we choose to make the commitment to the spaces and places we deeply desire to show up in. That's my belief. So yeah, I have a cleaner. You know, like using after school care, asking friends to help with your kids. Like, there's so many ways that we can arrange things for ourselves if we really commit to ourselves and showing up for ourselves. So my invitation for you today is to sit with yourself. It doesn't have to be, you know, a painful and drawn out process. It's actually really liberating to have a look at all the places where we are not a fuck yes. And so we're still showing up there. But we're showing up there with resentment. And that has a smell to it, peeps. And it's palpable to the people around you. And it leaks. Energy leaks into your friendships, and suddenly it doesn't feel great. None of it feels great. And, you know, I am a passionate advocate for living a life that we find all the fucking joy in. And that's entirely possible for us. It gets to be easy and fun and joyful, and, you know, everything is happening for us. Everything is happening for us. There is a gift in it all. Enjoy day 2.